The reason we are seeing so much rainfall is we've got this little atmospheric river directed, think of it as a fire hose, right at the Pacific Northwest. At the same time, we've got this upper level low that's nearly stationary sitting in the Gulf of Alaska. And notice how that spins counterclockwise. All low pressure systems do that in the northern hemisphere. That is whipping in this moisture. And obviously, because it has Pacific ties, we are looking at the milder temperatures. We also have the jet stream right above us. So all those things working in conjunction, giving us this weather pattern we're seeing right now, which is very unusual start to the El Nino expected winter we are seeing. But you know what? We'll take it. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're coming to you live from basically the top of Deanstone Mountain in Missoula. It has been a fantastic day. As a matter of fact, I think we hit 55 for the high, and that's the warmest we've been so far this year in the Missoula area. Not necessarily a record high, but there were a lot of places that were very close to at least making it into record high territory today. So a lot of us topping out well into the 50s, average for this time of year, upper 30s to low 40s. So hopefully you got a chance to get out there and enjoy it. You can tell where that cold front has not made it yet. Eastern Montana, where some folks, including Jordan, are still around 70 degrees even at this hour. Yeah, we've seen a peak wind gust in Missoula of 29 miles per hour, in Kalispell about 25 miles per hour. But what you need to know is the higher up you go in elevation, typically those winds are whipping a lot faster. So if you are seeing areas that are dealing with wildfires in the mountains, that's even more problematic, especially during the afternoon when you get these crazy downsloping winds. I don't condone ditching out on work. I'm going to be here, but if you're going to play hooky, tomorrow is going to be awesome. So we will continue to see similar conditions. However, when we get ridges during the winter, it's a little bit different than during the summer. Typically, you get compression. High pressure is sinking air, so that's going to warm up the air, hence warm up our average daily highs. However, when it happens during the winter, those cold pools get stuck in the valley locations, and cold air is more dense, so it'll sit in the valleys, and the mountains are all around it on all the sides, and it can't get out. So that's what we call an inversion. So likely that's what's going to happen here over the next couple of days. The western United States very active, and that is the way things are going to stay here over the next couple of days. Yep, what we saw in Missoula was an outflow boundary, or like a gust front from thunderstorms well to the south. If you think of it as a water balloon and you drop it on the concrete, it's kind of like that. So that's what we saw out there. And then it was interesting because we didn't even have any of the moisture in the Missoula area. So that traveled quite a ways from well down south Bitterroot. Speaking of the Bitterroot, that's the thing is the gentleman, the first thing you heard from him was like, what outside to watch the thunder?
To look, yeah.
Don't do that.
Not the best advice.
When thunder roars, go indoors.
That's
Trust
right.
me, we don't tell you this for our own good.
No.
We're telling you for you. If you are close
safety.
enough to hear thunder, you are close enough to get struck by lightning. So don't mess with Mother Nature. She's kind of a boss.
Yeah.
If you're missing out right now, don't be bummed. You're probably going to get in on some of the action here over the next couple of days. It's not going anywhere very fast. But what you're going to want to do is get out there and enjoy it. Of course, after you hit up the 6th annual ORI Autumn Fest, you're going to want to maybe head to the rivers or the lakes or something. It's going to be too nice. Got a whole lot more coming up. Now, the big weather story across the United States, of course you've already heard about it, that monster storm system that's impacting right now the mid-Atlantic and the eastern seaboard. This has everything in the kitchen sink associated with it, and this thing, I've been watching it develop over the last day or so. I have to tell you, it's fascinating, and it's textbook, the makings of a monster storm, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. We have blizzard warnings that cover the entire state of Maryland, a good chunk of Virginia, and then further off towards the north and the east. We have already seen 18 inches plus of snow in western North Carolina, and this thing has really just started over the last half a day or so. So it will continue to bring impacts all over the region. Now, not only snow, a lot of people are just like, oh wow, that's so much snow. It's the wind, blizzard conditions, greatly reduced visibilities. Not only that, but you're seeing these pinks and purples indicating ice, and then we're also going to see coastal flooding associated with this system. So it is a big impact. I heard earlier today about 6,000 flights have been canceled over there. It's just crazy. For our part of the country, very quiet in comparison. It moved from the Bitterroot, and that continues to push off towards the northeast. So Missoula, we're not totally out of the woods just yet, even though it did look like we were going to get smacked here just a short while ago with that lightning coming in. These are moving very slow, by the way, these cells, about 15 to 20 miles per hour. We're also seeing quite a bit of lightning around the Garrison Junction, and here we go with a lot more moisture. So we are definitely going to see some good stuff. Here is one model prediction of what we could see storm total between now and Monday morning. Now you might be asking yourself, why aren't we under a red flag warning? We don't have the wind. That's the only reason. Otherwise, you bet we would be. A little more convinced that we might actually pick up some light snow tomorrow morning now that these are sort of in agreement. We don't have an outlier that's way out of there. So I don't think it would be uncommon for the Kalispell area, for example, to see upwards of an inch of snow by early tomorrow afternoon, especially during the morning hours. We are continuing to see pretty light winds as well, and that is normal when you get ridges of high pressure that build in. Across the desert southwest, a little bit of moisture, but all eyes are drawn on the Pacific Northwest as we see this large trough of low pressure moving inland and cooling everybody down. And we're also seeing significant rainfall, which is great. We need it right now so badly. And we will see very beneficial numbers coming in. This is the radar here over the past 3 hours. You could see in particular that area along Interstate 90 that was hit the hardest with some of those isolated severe thunderstorms. Now, as this one has moved through the area, just now moving into the Missoula area, it's not severe warned anymore. But it is still packing a punch. Out at the National Weather Service office, which is located at the airport, they're reporting 2 miles visibility, hail starting to accumulate, and it's just a matter of time before it makes it into downtown Missoula. Some very gusty winds in excess of about 40-45 miles per hour and very heavy rain. So this all continues to move off towards the south-southeast. So it is making its way towards Ovando, for example, more towards Drummond, and then eventually it'll move into central Montana. But notice how we're not quite done yet. We're still seeing some development off to the west. Our trough of low pressure, this is the system from yesterday, now moving into the central Rockies. Denver right now, if you got to see the advisories, the watches, and the warnings, it would look like a 3-year-old got a hold of that map. It is just lit up. There's so many things going on, blizzard warnings, everything with that system. Look at the difference between northwest Montana and southwest Montana tomorrow. Basically I-90 and southward, we are going to see the best chance for precipitation, showers and thunderstorms, obviously cooler temperatures in the 70s. Across northwest Montana, where you get a little more sunshine and drier conditions, will be in the 80s.
I think our major complaint today
oh my gosh.
is the smoke,
oh, yes.
And I think we're all starting to maybe feel slight health effects, even
no
if
kidding.
Just the cumulative effects.
Don't mind the cough drop because it's horrible. I'm starting to get a headache back here. I've had the whole congestion, the cough, and I feel so bad for folks that have respiratory issues like asthma. I mean, this has got to be horrific for them.
To be very, very careful with that. You think, oh, I'm tough, I can get through this, but after so many days of it, if you start to feel ill, that's probably why. And they do recommend you don't go outside and exert yourself.
Exactly.
You're breathing in like a pack of cigarettes. It
well,
feels like.
You could be the healthiest person in the world, marathon runners, anything like that, and it could take you down. It doesn't matter how healthy you are. So just stay inside, maybe watch a movie. Hopefully you have air conditioning. So overall, we've seen a big ridge of high pressure over the region over the last several days, and that is the reason we continue to see these very stagnant days with poor air quality, no improvements. We need this ridge to get bumped out of here. These ridges this time of year during the summer are very common across this part of the country, so we need something to get it out of here, and we are going to see that. This is the beginning of it as we move into this upcoming weekend. Hi guys, this year Opportunity Resources Inc. celebrates 60 years in providing services to hundreds of Western Montana adults living with disabilities, and tomorrow is one of the biggest fundraisers that they have each year. It's the 6th annual ORI Autumn Fest, formerly known as the Old West Autumn Fest, if you're familiar with that. And the weather is not going to feel very fall-like, if you ask me. This guy will actually be overdressed. We're looking at some heat tomorrow across Western Montana. We'll take a look in Hamilton from our First Security Bank iCam. Now, we do care about this system because some of the moisture is being drawn up our way into the southwest part of the Treasure State, and that interacted with the passage of a cold front today. The timing just wasn't there for us west of the divide to get in on some of these heavier showers and even some embedded thunderstorms. But boy, that's what we saw throughout much of the afternoon and evening. And you've got today's flow in cubic feet per second right here in this column, and then that is a new record. This is the old record, and then you've got the years of record. Look at the Clark Fork, 104 years of record, and right now to date we are seeing a record low stream flow.
I'll have you come teach me. You're the fly fisherman.
Well, no, I think I was telling you guys the other day, when I'm from Minnesota, so we have lakes in everybody's backyard. We would take the line and put a hook on it with a worm, and we would fish through the cracks in the dock. Was this you guys that was telling?
Nope.
No. So then when you catch the fish, what do? We would put, and we'd have to let the line go. Yeah, we were not the brightest.
Are we still on TV?
Children. 62 for Missoula and Kalispell last Monday.
Yeah.
We ended the work week on Friday with highs in the 90s, and then Saturday Kalispell hit 101, record high.
then you get the heat this weekend. Now the smoke and the heat, and now we're going to go
Well,
back.
we always joke about Montana's temperature, and here you go. This was proof right here,
Oh
right?
my gosh, you can get it all in a week.
That's right.
You can get it all in a week.
Trying to figure out, you've already figured it out a little bit, what to do this weekend to take advantage
no,
of it.
look at this list.
I
It's
know.
huge. It's like, how am I going to do 17 things?
Cram it into 2 days, right? Because
Man,
this is it, right?
This better not be the last hurrah. It might be, you never know. I mean, these weekends don't, show up every
They're
weekend.
precious.
Yes, right as we move into fall. Before we get started with that beautiful forecast, this gorgeous photo sent in by Dwayne, the Northern Lights last night over the Whitefish Range. Keep those photos coming. All you need to do is search for KPAX or even KAJ on Facebook. Post right there on the timeline. This is how the day started. This was around 10 this morning from Apgar Mountain in Glacier National Park. You're looking down onto Lake McDonald. Gorgeous start to the day. And then fast forward to around sunset. This is down below now, Lake McDonald in the park. Take a look at that. I mean, it speaks for itself. We saw a fantastic day, all because we see this big upper level ridge of high pressure smack right over us right now. Notice how that is amplified and the clouds are way up to the north. So we are just sitting pretty underneath this ridge, and it is allowing for some very nice conditions across the northern Rockies. Here's Polson today, one of those great days to hit the lake from our St. Joseph Medical Center iCam. And our time lapse in Missoula tonight from the St. Patrick Hospital iCam. We topped out at 85 degrees today in Missoula. That's 10 degrees above average. Kalispell, we were 9 degrees above average at 81. Missoula, right now we are at 67 degrees. A couple of other locations for you. Kalispell at 55. We've got St. Ignatius at 59 along with Stevensville. Knoxon calling in with 60. Columbia Falls as well. 62 in Peaburg, Salmon, Idaho, and Troy right there around 63 degrees. Statewide, upper 50s to mid 60s. It is very comfortable out there this evening. Overnight tonight we'll drop into the low to mid 40s with clear skies across all of western Montana. We might dip into the upper 30s for places like Phillipsburg and Sula, of course Butte as well, but we are going to see those clear conditions stay put right into your Saturday. It looks fantastic, and we are going to see those temperatures very close to where they were today, if not slightly warmer. So well into the 80s, some folks even pushing the low 90s, pretty much from Troy all the way down towards St. Regis. Steve, we could hit about 88 for that high tomorrow. Here's a couple of other locations. 84 in Arlee Plains, about 91 degrees tomorrow with a mainly sunny sky. Now Saturday evening into Sunday evening, notice we're seeing a little bit more stuff on here. We've got some clouds filling in, and those will continue to increase as we move into Sunday evening, and that is ahead of our next pattern change. But we'll talk the numbers first. This time of year, right now, is when we usually start to see the last of our 80-degree days. We usually see the 90-degree days come to an end towards the mid and late part of August. However, notice Missoula and Kalispell, we have seen 90-degree readings as far as the 18th of the month and the 24th of the month. I don't think we're going to get there for Kalispell, but we could maybe be pretty close for Missoula. There will be some folks in the low 90s tomorrow. So this is a very strong ridge of high pressure, very summery weather this upcoming weekend. Enjoy it. It's going to be a big shock by the middle of next week because we will drop a good 15 to 30 degrees compared to what we're seeing out there right now and tomorrow. Look for 86 tomorrow, Missoula, 83 on Sunday, 74 on Monday, down into the mid 50s though starting Tuesday. So all the while we'll see those clouds on the increase throughout Monday. Tuesday those showers will start to get going. Tuesday and Wednesday we could see snow levels down to around 5,000 feet. That just goes to show you how chilly and cool and unsettled the next week is going to be. So again, enjoy this weekend.